When I ask youngsters, how does tobacco kill? Again, the only answer is cancers.
However, tobacco kills us in many other ways too. Tobacco smoke damages the lungs from within and causes diseases like emphysema, bronchitis, etc., which are collectively called as chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, COPDs. In such patients, the blood doesn't get oxygenated properly, and so they become breathless even on minimal physical activity. Eventually, they are not able to get sufficient oxygen no matter how hard they breathe, and they die a very distressing death, desperately trying just to get some oxygen. Next, very few of us know, but tobacco also causes heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases. Then, the lungs which are damaged by smoking are more susceptible to developing infections, leading to diseases like pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. Now, how common is the contribution of tobacco in deaths caused by these diseases? As per WHO, in men, most deaths due to oral cancer, 78% lung cancers, 16% heart attacks, 10% brain strokes, 9% TB deaths, and 49% deaths due to COPDs are attributable to tobacco.
How does it cause a heart attack? So when the artery to the heart gets blocked because of cholesterol, oil, etc. getting deposited there, we get a heart attack. When you take alcohol or tobacco, the inner lining of your artery gets damaged, and when the lining is damaged, it is more vulnerable to cholesterol and oil and plaques getting deposited there, and that is how alcohol and tobacco cause heart attacks and strokes. Cancers. According to a study done by American Cancer Society, it was a 20-year-long study done on a sample size of 1 million, and that proved that out of all the deaths due to cancer, 30% were only because of tobacco. And it's not only just oral and lung cancers. A lot of other cancers, a huge proportion of it, is attributable to tobacco. So just imagine, most of us believe that cancers can happen to anyone, we cannot really predict, but no, not really. The cancer prevalence would go down by 30% if only mankind chooses to give up tobacco. To say one or two more statistics, out of all the heart attacks which occur before the age of 45, 50% are just because of tobacco. So I want to draw your attention that tobacco and alcohol are huge causes of premature deaths. Now, when someone's husband dies 10 years earlier than required, when someone's father dies 15 years earlier than required, that really hurts, because a lot of active life years are lost and it was a preventable death. And alcohol and tobacco cause these preventable deaths. In fact, tobacco is regarded to be the most common cause of preventable premature deaths throughout the world. And how many people in my country take this poison? Around 48% males. It's an epidemic.
And let's be aware that the poorest members of our society are getting harmed the most. They are influenced more by these advertisements featuring cricketers and film stars, and their access to the right kind of knowledge is less. Hence, we see that the prevalence of tobacco use is higher in rural areas compared to urban areas, and is still higher in tribal areas. Also, in poor families where alcohol or tobacco use is there, a big chunk of their income gets squandered on these addictions. Example, in Gadchiroli, poor families are spending on tobacco 2 to 3 times more than what they are saving in Bachat Ghats. And because there are no savings, there is no progress. Thus, this widespread habit of tobacco use is not allowing a large number of families to experience a better life. On a broader perspective, the people of Gadchiroli are spending 73 crores on tobacco every year, which is much higher than the budget of any of the popular developmental schemes. Thus, along with damaging the health of our people, this tobacco habit is also acting as a huge obstacle to our developmental efforts.
But how do people look at tobacco in our country? डॉक्टर, हम व्यसन व्यसन नहीं करते, हम तो सिर्फ तंबाकू खाते हैं. The Western world regards it to be the most harmful addiction, and we regard it to be the most benign or safe addiction. And that's because of sheer lack of awareness. In the Western society, 30 years back, smoking tobacco was cool. But now, if you smoke tobacco, you're a stupid person. If we spread awareness collectively, then that change in perception will happen in our country also. So let's go and inform our fellow men that tobacco is the most addictive substance known to mankind. It is more habit forming than even alcohol or brown sugar. Most people addicted to tobacco need to take it within half an hour of getting up. They can't even pass stools till they have taken their morning cigarette. Their body and mind become completely dependent on it. Also, tobacco kills more people than any other addictive substance. It causes 50 lakh deaths every year, one death every 6 seconds.